How do you prepare for the sale of your business? What planning should you put in place before you sell that business? And if it all happens so quickly, what should you do now that the deal is done? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome back. In our final video of the series, we're going to focus on the planning aspects of selling your business, both pre-transaction and post-transaction. Once more, I'm joined by Matt Gubicza, team leader for Univest Commercial Banking, and Brian Hungarter, vice president and wealth advisor for Girard. Thank you both for being here. We've gone through thinking about selling. We've gone through, okay, we're going to sell. Let's talk about planning. Brian, I'm going to focus on you. Whether it's too early, right on time, or too late, when is the best time for you to begin planning the process?
Definitely not too late. No, in all seriousness, throughout the course of my career, I can't think of a single sales cycle where I didn't say out loud or wish, man, I wish we got to get involved 12, 18, 24, 36 months earlier. There's just so much to consider on the front end of a sales transaction. And again, our running theme, as you hear me say, always start with the end in mind. That's a really wide-ranging conversation.
Yeah, and from the bank's perspective, if you've got other business ventures in mind, we can help out with that, right? So that's part of we don't just get paid off and run away, right? We stay through the process, and so often that means like, hey, what's next for the business owner?
Well, let's focus on sort of the retirement aspect of planning and the estate aspect of planning.
The very first decision to make, great, I'm thinking about selling my business. Is this it for me? Am I starting a new business? Am I doing a joint venture? Am I going to go and consult or angel invest? Am I going charitable, nonprofit? Or am I done? Do I want to go and hang them up? If it is that latter answer, if it is, hey, I think this might be the last thing for me and for my family, the very first consideration, obviously, am I selling the business for enough? Am I going to net enough to lead the lifestyle I want to lead into retirement? And what does that mean? Because many times we see sale transactions where that business owner is trying to maximize value, thinking they need much, much more than they need for retirement. Or sometimes it's the opposite. If I really want to get out and do anything else, well, are you sure you're selling for enough? Do you need to maximize and work in the business another year or two? We want to put the business owner in the best place for them to make an informed decision.
Which financial planning comes in, right? It's making sure, let's look at everything, let's see maybe how we should be invested, because it's a business that maybe their funds were tied up in the business all their career, and now they have this big pot of money. How do you invest the portfolio?
I think it again depends on, and that's why I'm glad we have Matt here, is are you starting another venture? Are you going to, again, take that more illiquid approach to a longer term tied up capital? Are we thinking, no, I'm done, let's relax, let's take a much more liquid, available, diversified, traditional investment management approach, or some combination thereof?
I'm curious, when you go through this process with your clients, obviously you have to listen, right? They're going to tell you their wants and needs, but how much do you kind of push them and say, okay, I want to maybe challenge them, the devil's advocate approach, right? To, hey, you want to think about a little bit more of that. I'm curious, how hard do you push on those topics?
Really good question. I think it depends on the unique business owner and their own nuances, right? Or their own personality traits. Some of them they've done really strong work on, I know what I need to get out of this business. It's going to happen on this time frame. I'm going to get out of there. Slow down. Let's make sure that we're dotting the I's, crossing the T's. Are we setting yourself up for the ideal legal transition, the ideal taxable transition, the ideal legacy transition? Is there charity to be done? On the other time, sometimes folks are saying, well, I'm ready to be done, but can the business succeed without me? Am I ready to hang it up? Sometimes for them, it's push them to the door. Hey, you've worked 40 years. Yeah. Go enjoy the fruits of your labor. Go spend time with your family and live life. It really depends on whether you're on that spectrum, on how hard we push or not. Ultimately, we're fiduciaries. We must act in our client's best interest, whatever that means, whether that's their children saying, hey, help us get dad out of the business, or whether that's the opposite of saying, maybe we got a little more work to do.
Yeah, and everybody wants to be charitable, right? Charitable is a wonderful thing. Everybody wants to have their name on a building somewhere, but sometimes if the business doesn't support those kinds of asset values, well, it's just not going to be an option.
It's funny. At the outset of every sales cycle, what my clients have heard me ask them is, you're down to your last $100, divvied up between the friends, family bucket, the charity bucket, and the government bucket. I've gotten many different,
The government.
believe it or not, I did get that once, and it shocked you as much as it shocked me. But again, right, there becomes a question of, well, I want every dollar to go to my family. Okay, great, they're all going to get $35 million. Are you sure you want that? Oh, maybe charity's more interesting now. Or I want half to go to charity. Okay, that means that you're maybe living a little more modest lifestyle than you anticipate. Okay, 30% to charity is fine. 20. So it's always a sliding scale, and that's why we model everything out and say, here's scenario A, B, C, D, E. You're now in the best position to make an informed decision for you and your future.
And again, it's the financial plan where you're just laying out those options and you're talking to them about each option and figuring out they have to ultimately decide what option they want to go.
But it's a team effort, right? It's not just us. It's taking counsel from the banking team, from the legal advisors, from the tax advisors, from the business advisors on knowing all those intricacies of a family situation, of a lifestyle intent, of a legacy, a charitable intent. How do we make sure that everyone's heard and really providing the best value to our ultimate end client, the business owner, that we can? And we take pride in really being open and collaborative with all these folks to make sure every voice is heard and that we're all shooting for the same end target.
Because that's what the important part is too. It's the team effort. It's making sure you're including everybody that needs to be included to get to the right conclusion.
The team, the team, the team.
A lot of good stuff, a lot of good information. Guys, thanks for your time. Selling a business is a big decision to make, and you want to make sure you've built the right team around you for the support you need. If you're looking to have a conversation or have some questions and concerns about selling your business, please visit our websites, meetgirard.com and univest.net. There you'll find contact information for myself, for Matt, for Brian, as well as the rest of the team. We're always happy to help in any way we can, and until next time, take care and thanks for watching.